Good morning, grade 4 students. Mr. Waterman here with today's mathematics lesson in period 4 on Wednesday, April 14th, 2021. I hope you all are doing safe and well. Welcome to the first mathematics class of the school year. This is going to be a very easy and basic math class for you today. Since grade 4 students will be coming back to school on Monday, we will have our actual math classes together. Some of you will have me as your teacher. Some of you will have Miss Harris as a teacher for grade 4 mathematics this year. So just to give you an idea about what you're going to be doing and to tell you a little bit about how Miss Harris and I do math, you will have math in the math room, which is Miss Harris's classroom in the basement. On the first day of classes, we will come to pick you up from your Korean classrooms and we will take you down to the math classroom. So we'll all go together during the first lesson, okay? This year, in grade 4, you will be studying from this main textbook, the Houghton Mifflin series, math. This is the grade 4 textbook, okay? We have copies of these books in the math classroom downstairs. There is enough for each student to have a copy when we are studying during math time. Math time is once a week, okay? If you are in class 4-1, your math day will be Wednesdays. If you're in 4-2, your math class will be on Thursdays. But if you're in class 4-3, your math day will be on Tuesdays, okay? Now, as many of you know, I teach Orange Group, so I will have 4-1 and 4-2 Orange. Miss Harris will have 4-1 and 4-2 Blue Group, and I teach everyone in class 4-3, okay? So I've just shown you the textbook, and from time to time, we will be working from 2 workbooks. We have a homework book and we have a practice workbook. Now, there are not enough of these for all of the students. So what Miss Harris and I have done is we have copied the pages that you will need into our own workbooks. So I talked about this in the language arts video for my classes, but each student will get one of these workbooks. The first one says grade 4, mathematics, practice workbook, 2021 to 2022, Mr. Waterman's class. On the first day, you're going to write your first name, your last name, you're going to write your class, and you're going to write your student number, okay? On the first day, you'll also get a copy of this book, the grade 4 mathematics homework book. All for this year. It's set up the same way. It goes with your name, class, and student number. That way, if you drop either one of these in the hallway or leave them in the library, if someone finds them, they can return them to your homeroom, or they can return them to myself or Miss Harris, okay? Now, the reason that we made these, it's because it keeps it nice and easy, and they're set up the same way. So each workbook on the first page has a copy of the schedule, okay? The homework book is set up the same way. There we go. Has a copy of the schedule. It tells you what topic we are studying. It tells you what page it's on in the textbook, and then it tells you what page it is on in the practice and homework books. And then after you complete it, you just put a check mark, okay? Now, what I like about the practice workbook and the homework book is that they're the exact same page. Okay, so I'll give you an example. In the first lesson, we're going to talk about place value through hundred thousands. In the practice workbook, that is on page 2. Okay? Then if I look at the homework book, place value through hundred thousands, okay? It is on page 2 of the homework book. So it keeps things nice and easy for you, nice and organized for you as well, okay? In grade 4 mathematics this year, each of you will receive a purple notebook. This is going to be your math notebook. Now, why do we have a notebook if we have a practice workbook? The practice workbook, this will stay in your math class, okay? Because this is where you will do some practice problems each week. And it's not important to finish everything, right? It's just practice. Because when you have a test and you take your notebook home to study, you will have copies of examples in your notebook, which is why we have these. So on the first day when you get this, I'm going to do mine ahead of time now as an example. This will save time next week when I pass out all of your books. So on this page, on the cover page, on the top line, I'm going to put my name. So I'm going to use my Korean name, which is Taejun Lee. Okay. My homeroom is 41. My student number is 50. On the third line, I write mathematics. Okay? And on the last line, I'm going to write Mr. Waterman's class. Okay, so that takes care of the cover page of my math notebook. Each week, as we are studying math together, we go through and we take notes. Oops, I'm going to fix this mirror. There we go. All right. So then what I will do is I'll open to the very first page. And at the top here, this is going to be my table of contents. This is going to tell you what we're going to study each week. When you get your notebooks, the first thing we're going to do is number pages. That's number 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, and so on, okay? So you'll have your notebooks next week. When you get them, you will put your name, your class, your student number on the top, mathematics, and Mr. Waterman's class. Then, after you write the table of contents, you will begin to number the pages in your notebook. So we have a lot to do in that first math class. Now let's review a few points. Very important points. 1. Can I take the math textbook home? No, you may not. That is why Miss Harris and I will have you make notes in your math notebooks. You may take your math notebooks home to study before we have a test. Okay? Next question. Mr. Waterman or Miss Harris, can I take the practice workbook home? No, you may not. The practice workbook stays in school, in the math room. It does not go to your Korean room. It does not go to your Japanese classroom. It does not go to the library. It does not go to the grounds when you are playing with your friends. It stays in the math classroom. You only get one practice book. If you lose this book, you do not get another one. Please do not ask. Okay? You all are old enough now. You're responsible enough, and I gave the same speech in my language arts video. You should be able to hold on to a workbook that your teachers give you. Don't lose it. It took a lot of time to make these. There are 120 students in each grade. I don't have time to give new workbooks out to a student if they lose it. Okay? Mr. Waterman, Ms. Harris, can I take the homework book home? Yes, this you can take home. That is why it is a homework book. Now, Ms. Harris and I may have different rules, okay, for what we want you to do with these books. If we have you bring your homework books in every week, or if we have you bring them in every 2 weeks, it depends on Ms. Harris, it depends on myself. It may be different for each of us as your teacher, okay? But most important, yes, this is the book that you can take home. If you leave this book at home, is it okay? Yes, it's okay. Because when you're studying in class with us, you have the practice book that's there. And you always know whatever page the practice activity is on, the homework is on the same exact page. So that's not a problem, okay? Next, are we going to have tests in math class? Yes, you will. The plan is to have 2 tests every semester. So for example, semester 1 will finish in July. You'll have 2 tests. We will try to test you at the end of May. Then we will test you again at the first, well, maybe during the first week of July. It depends on our schedule. And it also depends on what happens because of the coronavirus situation. Okay? Math is once a week. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy. We're not always going to work from books. Sometimes we play games together, okay, in math class. Since we only have it once a week, there's a lot that Ms. Harris and I have to do with you as our students, but there's a lot that we can also do with you to make it as fun as possible, okay? So this lesson is just rules, okay, letting you know what the expectations are, what's going to happen next week, all right? Now, I want to see if you remember. I did this with language arts. I want you to answer these questions. Is it okay to take the math textbook home? Yes or no? Is it okay to take the practice workbook home? Yes or no? Is it okay to take the homework book home? I think everyone should get the answers right to these classes, or to these questions, I'm sorry. Last question. When can you take your math notebook home? Do you take it home every week? And that's it for this math class. If you have any questions, you can email Mr. Waterman or Ms. Harris. Please remember again, if you are in the blue group in 4-1 or in the blue group for 4-2, Ms. Harris is your mathematics teacher. If you are in orange group for 4-1, or if you are in orange group for 4-2, or if you are in class 4-3, blue and orange, Mr. Waterman is your mathematics teacher for this year. Let's have a great time together, okay? I want everyone to stay safe, healthy, study hard, and remember, grade 4 comes back to school on Monday. Everyone's going to be busy. Your teachers are going to be busy. You as students are going to be busy. I know this is your first time going into upper elementary. You all are coming up from grade 3. You're coming up from lower elementary. This is going to be a big change for you this year. But if you follow directions, if you listen very carefully, if you help each other, and you help your teachers, this will be a really great year for you. Okay? Looking forward to meeting you all next week when you come in. Take care. and I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Bye-bye for now.